So each patient panel member will have 5 minutes to discuss topics that they have chosen for the audience. These individual presentations will be followed by a question and answer session. So before we get to the questions, I'd first like to ask each panel member, and we can start with Ms. Walters. And if you could just give us just some brief information about you, maybe who you are, how old you are, and maybe what you do.
Ms. Barbara Walters. I'm a part-time music teacher, and I work at Holy Angels Catholic School. I enjoy my job, and I have 2 children. One is 31, one is 23, and I've got a wonderful husband that's right over there that sticks with me. He is my advocate and my lifelong love. And I will be 60 years old in August.
How are you? My name is Darrell Harris. I'm 25. I'm a college student at the moment. I have a 2-year-old who has the sickle cell trait, and I'm just pretty much living life as best as I can.
How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Good. Glad everybody could be here. My name is William Blunt. I have sickle cell, obviously. I just got married last September to a wonderful woman named Lauren. And I'm the oldest of 3 brothers. I'm a realtor, and just happy to be here with you guys today.
Good morning. My name is Jade Parker. I am 23. Living with sickle cell every day, day to day. A little bit about me. I am graduating May 10th with my bachelor's degree in nursing. So, kind of just taking the journey from, well, not from being a patient, but also getting a healthcare provider's perspective. So yeah, just taking it one day at a time. Thank you.
My name is Barbara. I have 4 children. 1 has the disease, 2 have the trait, and 1 has nothing but asthma. And that's it.
My name is Nicole Walker. I'm 36 years old. I am a social worker. I have a 14-year-old daughter that I'm very proud of. Last night, she was inducted into the National Junior Honor Society, so I'm very proud of her. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So when it comes to the questions, if some of you have to think about it, then whoever knows their answer can just jump in, and it doesn't have to go in a row. So the first question, what is the #1 thing you want the world to know about what it's like to live with sickle cell? Or have a child with sickle cell?
I think the #1 thing I want the world to know is that it varies so much, not just from patient to patient, but from day to day. It could be so different. Yeah, and it just varies so much.
I think I'd like everyone to know that it is not just physically challenging, but also mentally challenging. And if you don't have someone with you that is your advocate, that fights for you in the hospitals, emergencies, with the insurance companies to try to make sure you've got everything you need, it can be quite an ordeal. And I think that is one of the most important things. If you have someone with you to help you through all of your challenges, and this is an everyday challenge. That is my biggest thing, and that's why I love my husband so much.
I want to say that I agree with the dad that said that it is a curse. I agree with the dad that said it is a curse. It's not a blessing. It is horrible. It's pain. I'm speaking for myself. It's just not something that I wish on anybody or anyone. It's the worst thing almost in the world. So that's what I want to say about it.
I think one thing that that I want people to know is that it's possible. It's possible to live with sickle cell, and I don't want to minimize it to make it seem like it's not a big part of my life and the other people that deal with it, but kind of owning it and not letting it own you. And to piggyback off of what she was saying, Nicole, growing up, I thought it was the worst thing. I thought it was a curse. Why was I made like this? Why can't I do the things that every other child that I think is doing? You know, I can't go out to play without a worry. I can't do everything that they're doing. But in that pain and that curse of feeling like, you know, God, why did you do this? I've felt like it makes us stronger people. Mm-hmm. And I don't think I'd be a nurse today had I not had sickle cell. I don't think I would have a passion for helping people as much as I do if I did not have sickle cell. So within that pain that we all have, just finding the blessing in it and being a blessing to somebody else. So I just want people to know that it's possible, you know, that it is. So.
I just want to say it sucks. I mean, really it does. I mean, because it's a burden financially, emotionally, physically, everything. So it does suck. It comes with a lot of challenges. It just kind of depends on your mindset and if you want to, I guess, meet those challenges. But it does, I mean, life isn't normal. We have to deal with a lot of things that, you know, some people don't have to deal with. There's a lot of people, a lot of other diseases have to deal with things, but I mean, it's a challenge. So I think my biggest thing is my mindset, and if I want to determine to deal with it, how my attitude is. It's all about attitude. But it does take, like you said, someone close to you to help you through it, support you. I think that's the biggest thing, just your attitude and having someone to support you. And stuff like this where you know somebody's thinking about sickle cell also helps. So.
And to pretty much piggyback off what everybody else said, I do feel like I have some time where it is a curse. Sometimes I feel like it is a blessing. Sometimes I feel like, why did God give me this? And he gave it to me for a reason, because if he didn't give it to me, I wouldn't be sitting here today amongst all you. So sometimes I do feel every hospital visit, what's the purpose of me having, me out of all my family members? Why me out of everybody in the world? So I understand that God gave it to me for a reason. Out of everybody, I'm an activist. I can pretty much speak on it basically off of my day-to-day basis. And pretty much the hospital visits and stuff like that is pretty much one of the hardest things for me. Pretty much going in as wanting to get help for something and getting treated as a drug addict or something that you're coming off of pain, normal pain that you'd have to deal with every single day. That you come in and just treat it like you want to get help for that pain. And sometimes you get turned away, or sometimes you don't get the right amount of pain medicine that you need, so you had to come back and get more. And he was like, well, they turn you away as if there's nothing wrong with you. We're gonna send you home. Well, I'm have this pain. I need that medicine. I don't want to go home in this pain. That's why I'm here. That's the whole purpose of me coming to the hospital. But it just, that's just one of the hardest things having to deal with every single day of your life. Don't know what the next day is going to be like, what the next morning, or have to worry about every single aspect of your life. Have to plan every single thing before you take a step out of the house. What you're going to wear, to your events, to everything else. So sickle cell is a major part of my life, along with everybody else is up here.
So some of you kind of answered this question, but if you have any other specific examples. How does sickle cell disease affect your life on an average day? Are there activities that you cannot do at all times or as well as you would like to do them? Describe using some specific examples, maybe related to school, related to work, or other physical activities.
That's a loaded question.
I know.
I guess I could say something. In nursing, in medicine, you're on a very strict curriculum. Just in life, there's not a lot of understanding for some things sometimes.
Right.
People forget that people are people and that they have stuff going on in their life from day to day, and they're not their job. They're not their schoolwork. They're not the things that they have to do to maintain. They are still people with they still have feelings, and we still have other things going on. So when I was in nursing school, I lost a lot of friends, and it was kind of like, oh, you think you're better than us, you want to go. Well, good luck with that. I don't know too many people that made it through that. So, but aside from that, you think in nursing with people that have practiced medicine that they would understand the pathophysiology and the pathology and all the ologies of sickle cell. And I had to break it down to my nursing and my doctors that were in the School of Nursing that I went to school with. And I kind of became like, not that I became my own nurse, but I almost had to be, because I'm like, okay, well, let me look this up, and how will this affect my schoolwork? What is it that I need to let these people know so that if I miss a day of school, they know I'm not playing hooky, and that I'm probably really sick somewhere in the hospital. And just knowing that sickle cell a lot of times leaves no room for error.
Right.
It leaves no room for error, because you just don't know what's going to happen, when something is going to happen, how it's going to happen, and you're never ready for a crisis. You're never ready for an episode. You never are, no matter how much you prepare your body or your mind or your current situations, you're never fully prepared. So then when it happens, it's just like, bam, okay, deal with it. And I dealt with that a lot, and I went to school in a small town in Kentucky, Frankfort. Not a diverse population at all, but I'm thinking that people, they've studied medicine, and not wanting to insult anybody's intelligence, but maybe they knew a little something about it. Everybody knows so much about cancer and knows so much about blood and bone and circulation, but I feel like sickle cell is one of the major things that deals with your bones, your body, your blood, your circulation. It's almost, to me, it's as significant, if not more significant, than cancer.
Yes.
The pain, I've heard of people saying that their pain with cancer, the cells are dying, and that it's a painful process and a painful death. I feel like it's the very same thing with sickle cell. I feel like every time we have an episode or a crisis, a part of us is physically, literally dying, but we're also dying with that. And so through nursing school, I didn't really get much empathy or sympathy about that, but I just prayed about it, and I was like, you know, if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to happen, and I'm just so thankful because I was just talking with the ladies at the table that I was sitting with. It's just like, who am I to be sitting up here talking to everybody? Like, I am nobody. I was just somebody that was under the care of Dr. Heine and Dr. Treadwell and some nurses, and I just decided that, you know, hey, I think I might want to be a nurse. And it seemed to work out that way, and hi, Dr. Heine. And, and so just all of us, we should be empowered with having sickle cell, you know, like, I've learned the littlest things can affect somebody, and if my strength, you know, can affect somebody to do well, you know, your strength, everybody's strength, or sometimes people find strength in weakness. You know, my weakness could be somebody's strength. That could be the energy that they need. So I know I've been long-winded, but yeah. So,
That's all right.
You know.
Right. Yeah.
I think the whole average day, there's no such thing as an average day. So I think the best thing, I guess you should say the best way to describe the sickle cell is it's just so random. I mean, you never know what to expect or how the day's gonna go. I mean, you can go along most of the day and feel good, and then something will hit you. And it could be to any, I guess, severity. It could be, you know, something minor, it could be something major, it could be something very bad. So, I mean, I guess that's the hardest part, or one of the hardest parts of dealing with it is it's just random. You don't really know what to do. Probably made a couple of points here. I think in most days you do have some sort of fatigue. I think on the average days there's some sort of fatigue or shortness of breath, especially if you're going out and you're doing stuff, you do a lot of stuff, you get to run down a little bit quicker. There's a lot of other complications that come with that. I know probably, like a lot of people have blind spots or floaters or things like that that come along with having it. Working is also a challenge, like she said. You can't really control your disease as far as when it's going to happen. So, you know, it's not like you woke up and said, hey, I want to get sick today, so I can be in pain for the next few days, and oh, I don't want to make this money, so I'm just going to call in and watch reruns of stupid shows. So I mean, I think you just don't know. It's a challenge, but I think, like a lot of people said, I think it makes you stronger, and it makes you know that you can do some other things in life that are not sickle cell related, and it empowers you to be able to accomplish other things. So, but the biggest thing is there's no average day. They're all different. You take them as they come. Some are good, some are bad. And I think all of us up here probably, you know, have had a lot of joy and a lot of happiness. It's not all bad. It's not all, you know, doomsday every day, but there's a lot of days in which it's a struggle.
Well, my everyday is busy. I try to stay as busy as I can, but working is a problem because if you overwork, then you're down for the count for a while. And then you're stressed out because you want to work. Your brain is saying, go, go, go. You can do this, you can do that. But yet, and still your body is saying, slow, slow, slow. And I mean, there is no option. I get, now, as I've gotten older, I've learned how to kind of work with my sickle cell. And I've learned how to kind of monitor myself. And it's still a touch and go. Every day is different because I have to watch what I do, how I do it, what clothing to wear. Because I'd like to take this black sweater off and show you my pink sweater that I've got. But I will freeze in here, and then I'll start aching by the time I get home. So we have to be cautious on everything. But I think the mental stress really gets to you after you conquer the way you work with your body. And that's a big ordeal. And the absolute thing at my age, concentrating, trying to figure out, do I want to work 2 more years to get a pension? Something so small. Someone else can say, yes, I'm going to work 2 more years so I can get a pension. I am so ready to come home. I am so tired some days. I sit on the couch and that's it. And I thank God that I've got a daughter still living at home so she can help with the cooking. But I try to work out at the gym, and I stopped that for a while. But there was a time when I did go to the gym, and I had to drive myself on to the hospital because I went into a crisis. So, I mean, it's like, okay, can't work out, can't make my body look good, so I just have to take it one day at a time. And I would go back to having someone in your corner that says you look great any way you look, So, but just that concentration, that stress, that fight between a normal life. And most of us want the same thing that you all have. And we just have to take the one day at a time.
I don't know if this was a good idea for me to do this because I'm finding myself angry. But my day-to-day, I just know that a lot of times I am very tired. I may not, Hydrea works for me. Hydroxyurea really works for me. So I don't have as many pain crises, but I do have a lot of aches because of all of the things that the sickle cell has done to my body, bad hips, bad knees, and and everything like that. So because of that, that really wears me out. As far as I can't walk long distances, I can't exercise. Even though I did join the Y a couple of months ago, I've been maybe 6 times, and I don't do anything more than walk on a treadmill. But yeah, I find myself that I have to take a nap, almost daily. Most people can go from 6 in the morning to 10 at night. I just can't do that. It's just a lot of things that I'm not for sure if they can, but I know that I cannot do with my sickle cell. So it's a lot. It's a lot.
Okay. First of all, I'd like for you guys to turn your signs around so people know who you are.
I know.
Sorry about that.
I hope I do.
Okay. Next question. What worries you most about how sickle cell disease can affect your life in the future or your child's life in the future?
I don't know. I think with me, the biggest thing is kind of like piggybacking off what they said, trying to find that balance of making him a normal kid, but keeping him healthy. Because he can't just swim. He can't do all the things that everybody his age is doing. So I think just finding that balance to where he's just as normal as he can be
if that makes sense.
I think it would be fulfilling my purpose. What if something happens to me before I can do what I'm supposed to do here? And I try not to think about that a lot because, you know, we'd all have buckets. So.
This is one thing that I think about, and it has to do with patients that live in the underprivileged countries. I really think about them. I could not imagine living without the medicine that I have. There's no way, like, I would rather wish death upon myself than to live with sickle cell and not have the medications that I have. So that worries me about them. But also, this is so weird, but one of my fears is that we go into war or something like that and all of the pharmacies are bombed and we don't have Hydrea anymore. I mean, it is crazy, but that is a real fear for me. I don't know why, but I think about it constantly. What if they quit making Hydrea or whatever it is? That's a fear for me. And then also, what will my child do without me? If something happens today or tomorrow, I mean, we're not promised any day, but oh, that's hard. Like bringing somebody into the world and then not knowing if you will see them through it, you know, that's just, or they will see you through it. That's very difficult. That's difficult.
I was just going to say, it's just like with any other disease. There's always that fear that you may not be able to live the life that you want as long as you want, the whole life expectancy, like what you learned about today. So that's always just a fear, like the quality of life and your length of life, and the people that you have around you, you won't be able to live that life with them as long as you would like. So, I mean, it just comes with the territory, having a severe illness and disease, just like anybody else with any other severe illness or disease.
My worst fear is just pretty much not be able to be there for my son. Not be able to do the daily activities with him, being an actual father and showing him what fatherly activities, what it is to be a little boy, be able to do any of those things. So me not being able to do any of those things, and for the worst case scenario, being paralyzed, doing any of those, anything that is not, in my sense, normal, that would be pretty much my worst case scenario. Not be able to see my family every day, not be able to do any of the daily activities that I have, the laugh and the talking, the joking, anything. So not being able to do those on a daily basis, that would pretty much destroy me as another sense.
I think what I'm concerned about, you know, is how I'm going to go. Now, everybody in this room is going to go, but I do not want to suffer. Now, I have to be honest with that. I've suffered enough during my life. And, you know, hey, Lord, take me fast. I do not want to be on oxygen. I do not want to be on dialysis. I do not want to have people scanning my brain and making sure, you know, I've got enough things to deal with. Take me quickly. That's my biggest thing. And my kids, you know, my dad has been fabulous all my life. And he has taken care of the kids. My husband's taken care of me. But I declare I do not want to suffer when I go. So somebody come and shoot me. You know, I do not want to suffer. Yeah. wasn't true. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. What impacts has sickle cell disease had on your family and those closest to you?
Yeah.
Show discussion.
Wow, serious.
We supposed to answer that today?
5 minutes, Jade. 5 minutes.
I'll give you the stretch out in 5 minutes.
I think that the people that take us on and deal with us, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I'm 23. My mom constantly worries, constantly. It doesn't stop. The parenting doesn't stop. You know, it doesn't just, it's not like 18, okay, you know.
Right.
All right. It's like you know, have you drank enough water today?
Yeah.
You know, you need to just lay down. Don't make me make you lay down. And so, a lot of times I like to think that I'm Superwoman, but I know I'm not once I get to feeling bad and I get my name risked on and I'm in the hospital. And, but oh my God, the people that are in our lives take on so much. And just the acceptance from them, almost sometimes I feel like we can't do enough for them. It's just like, you do so much for me, what can I do for you? And I have a boyfriend, and you know, should everything work out and we get married, you know, just having to deal with, okay, you know what you're getting yourself into. I may not be here 15 years from now. I may not be here, you know. It's just kind of like how much do you expect people to be accepting of you? And the people that do, I'm just thankful because it's amazing. I look on the outside looking in. A lot of times I think I couldn't do that, which is why God didn't make me that person. So yeah, they do a lot, and they mean the world.
Family impact. Sum that up in 5 minutes. With that, it's just like they said. Pretty much, my family is a major part of my life. Every hospital visit, every doctor's appointment, every average day, my family is a major part of my life. My mom has been my advocate since I was a little baby, and every time I'm in the hospital, she's one of the main people who's either taking me to the hospital or who's on the phone with me while I'm there. Everyone wants to talk to the doctor, wants to know what the doctor said, wants to do everything. She's my advocate. So once I don't have it, just like she said, we have to have somebody there for us. And that happens to be my mom. My sister is always there. My dad is there with me. I just have to have my family there with me in general. So if I didn't have, I guess, the medicine, my family would be the next closest thing to, I guess, reduce that pain for me. I guess the sense of that love in the room or the love in the atmosphere, that brings that pain down. But yeah, it's just pretty much major people in my life. It's just, you have to have that circle of people that help you move day to day. Because without them, with any type of disease, not just sickle cell, but any type of disease, that is one of the easiest things to have that circle of people with you. Because without them, you wouldn't possibly be functioning. You wouldn't be able to move on in life as you have been. You wouldn't have made it as far.
I'll tell anyone, and I've told many of my girlfriends, that if I die, check with my husband and see what he gave me. Because my husband stays in a health food store. He's constantly reading and trying to find things that will help me. My daughters are sickle cell trait, so they don't have the same issues that I had. But how do you say, quasi-blessed that my mom had the disease, so she knew how to work with me and how to keep me, how to watch over me. But when I got married, my husband just constantly looks for things. And then with my doctor, we've been with him maybe 27 years, and he has a trust in me. You know, just like many of my sickler colleagues here, you go to the hospital and you think that they first thing, you're drugging. Why do you need that much 9 milligrams of morphine? Well, because I need it. Now, my doctor will call in and he will let them know, hey, this is how you administrate that. So your doctor, your spouse, your family, I mean, they watch over you. And I just thank the Lord that I've got a doctor that's like our friend. And he trusts me. And he makes sure that things are in balance. And he will tell me that's not what I think you should do. My husband, no, it's time for you to lay down and rest. My children, Mom, I don't think so, you know, because like I said, your brain wants to keep going, but your body can't, and you have to be reminded of that. So, you know, we just do the best we can.
I'm so glad you guys can see the positive, and it's like, I just don't. But my family, they're great. But I feel like, this is me, that I feel like I'm a burden. I feel that it doesn't happen often anymore, and that's wonderful. But when I get sick at 3 o'clock in the morning, or whatever the case may be, and have to go to the ER, I can't drive myself. So I have to call someone, my mom or my dad, usually my dad. So he has to come get up out of his sleep, even though he has to be at work at 5 o'clock in the morning, to come and get me and take me to the ER, or whatever the case may be. My daughter, she doesn't understand really why I can't do the things that other people can do. She knows, but she just doesn't understand. A couple of weeks ago, we went on vacation, and I was just drained. I couldn't do it. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. And she was just like, Mommy, smile. You just look down. And I wasn't down. I wasn't sad. I wasn't anything. I was just so exhausted. I could not barely move, you know. And I just feel like I feel like I'm a burden. I feel as if it wasn't for me, they would have a better life. And again, I am bringing out all the negatives, and I'm glad that you guys are bringing out the positives, but this is the way that I feel about it, so.
But Nicole, I want to tell you, sweetie, all of us have those same negatives. Do not think that your life is the only one that's negative.
I know that. I'm just saying, I'm glad you guys are bringing out the positives.
But that's okay, because I think we've all gone through that. You know, I really had to rework a lot of my thinking. I had to do a whole lot of work with myself to get to this point. And, you know, hang in there. That's all I can tell you right now. You keep praying. You keep walking and keep saying, I'm going to do better. I'm going to get better, you know, because it is something that is so horrible. But then again, you know, I look at it like people with cancer, 9 times out of 10, okay, maybe 5 times out of 10, they're dying. And they suffer so much when they have to go. But we do have a chance to have periods where we can function. But do not count yourself as a negative nothing, because you deserve to feel that way. That's your body. And nobody can tell you how you feel. No one. should tell you how you feel.
That lady wants to say something badly. I'm sorry.
I should. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to just thank you all for being up there and coming and sharing your story, because I know a lot of times you get probed and you get, treated like you're a drug addict. My aunt has the disease, I have the trait, and I can't even imagine having the disease going through to debilitate the pain that you all have. I only have a minimal of what you all have. I still go through the mental and the emotional and the physical fatigue that you all have. But like I said, I just want to thank you. That young lady, don't let them minimize.
Right.
It is your job, the 23-year-old one. Yeah. It is your job to make them see.
Yes.
It is your job
Yeah.
to let them know that cancer is different than sickle cell in distance, in distance, in distance. It is an illness in my definition. It's not a disease. Because a disease is something you catch. You're born with this. This is in your blood.
Yes,
It is
yes.
a difference, and I don't like when they lump it in one because they want to lump it in one because they don't understand. Don't let them lose it. I love you guys. Anything I can do to help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just going to say that, I mean, there are a lot of times that you feel like a burden to others around you with this disease, and don't feel like she was saying, don't feel like we all have it, we all experience it. It's a constant battle. I can remember times when I was younger, I would rather lay in bed. You start feeling bad at like 12 o'clock. I would lay in bed till like 8 o'clock to my parents or my grandparents when I lived with them for a while, till they woke up, and I was in there suffering because I didn't want to be a burden to them. I didn't want to wake them out of their sleep, so they would have to take care of me. So, I mean, we all battle with that, and we all deal with that. We always, we have plans to go to a basketball game. I start feeling bad, then, okay, now we can't go. So, I mean, it's tough dealing with it, and you feel like you let other people down sometimes, and you're the reason for this or that. But I'm also blessed to have like a lot of angels in my life who've kind of helped me out in different stages of my life. Right now, it's my wife. Like, she definitely helps me out. She's definitely my advocate, helps me to eat better, and just like everybody else says, I think the people that care about us, they can tell when we're doing too much, and they tell us, okay, we need to chill out and relax a little bit, and quit trying to be a Superman and Superwoman, and that's what my wife does for me. And I mean, I used to live with my grandparents for a while, and I can remember times having to go to hospital 3, 4, or 5 times a year, and my grandfather, my grandmother always drive me to the hospital, no matter what time it was. If they had stuff going on, he had to go to work or whatever. So always just angels watching over you and helping you out through it, and being there supporting you. And definitely my parents, they don't live here in the state. They took care of me for the first 18 years, and I moved back to Indianapolis. But I mean, they're always there for me, and always, my mom is always mothering, definitely. Asking me if I'm taking my medicine, and it's about to rain, and you need to put on a coat. And my great-grandmother who passed used to always tell me I had to wear underpants underneath my pants so my legs didn't get cold. So, yeah, you better put them on, and she would hit me. So, I mean, I guess my point is, I don't know where I would be if I didn't have those people that were positive and looked after me and encouraged me and were there for me, if no matter what I was going through.
Okay. All right. Okay. We do have a few more questions, but we've kind of run out of time. I would like to give the audience a chance to maybe ask the panel members a few questions, and then we'll wrap up. So we'll just say maybe like 3 quick questions. So right here.
Hello, I just have one question. What are you guys doing to advocate in the community and to increase awareness? Like, what's your method of increasing awareness for everyone else that does not know and doesn't understand?
Well, I tell you what, if we're not in crisis, then I talk to my school children. That's pretty much what I do. And the Sickle Cell Center has called to come out. So, and also with the Sickle Cell Walk, You know, we need a lot more people to come out for that. And I don't know how everyone else feels, but it's like in advocating, the only real people I like to advocate, talk to, or get the information out are the emergency people. You know, let me get hold to them, okay? And then we can keep going. Let me have a class with them, all of them, even the chief, you know, of the emergency department.
Okay, thanks. Mr. Burris.
Each year we have a 5K walk run. I believe we've never had 500 or more persons out there participate in that walk. What do you think we can do to increase participation in the community in the sickle cell walk run as compared with the other walk runs that you've seen where there are thousands of people out there?
Me personally, promote it just as much as you do for the cancer walks. Do just as much as y'all do for the cancer walk, do exactly for the same way as sickle cell. Because we get treated as if we're offering or we're pain is not as suffering as a cancer patient. Put us out there as just as much as a cancer patient. Just put us out as any other disease. We're an illness, we still have the same type of suffering as the other diseases do. So put us out there the same way.
Yeah, I mean, just what he said. I mean, if you realize that if a person sit here, one has cancer, one has sickle cell, one has whatever, leukemia, we're all sick. There shouldn't be a difference between this disease and this disease and this illness. There shouldn't be any rating. So if you care about one person that has something they have to deal with that affects their life, you should care about everybody the same. It shouldn't matter.
That's a really good question, and I'm glad they don't pay me to think. With me still, I guess, kind of being young and trying to understand that at the end of the day, there is a business in everything. Cross-marketing. There are so many ways that sickle cell affects lives. And making it more relatable to people that wouldn't necessarily see sickle cell pain. Everybody has, at one point in time, had pain. Financial hardship. With women, hair, skin, and nails, sickle cell, how does that affect the way you feel about yourself? How does that affect the way you look at yourself? There's just so many things that are a part of sickle cell, and getting people to understand that it's not just a disease and something that we don't really understand it, so let's put it all the way over here and let's deal with everything else. Just making it more relatable to everybody. There's something that sickle cell was, or is continuing to be, and things that we're still trying to figure out that deals with all parts of life. And so with identifying things that are in sickle cell that say, oh, hey, wellness. If you don't have health, everybody knows whether you have sickle cell or not. If you have health, you have nothing. You're not going to work. You can't function if you don't have your health. It doesn't matter how much money you have in the world. If you are sick and you're in a hospital bed, you can't go out and go shopping and spend it. You can't spend it the way you want to. And so understanding that health impacts so many other aspects of your life is how I feel that we can attract more people to sickle cell, because it impacts so many parts of the everyday life for any and everybody.
Okay. Last question. Of course.
Oh,
I'm sorry, of course.
absolutely.
Raise your hand. Everybody say aye.
Aye. Gee whiz, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Zip it, and you won't get in trouble, I tell you.
Well, I mean, it's something that has to be talked about.
Yeah.
People have to know. I think with me being young and I'm sorry, being black, and I'm not sorry, being young and being black, because I'm not going to be sorry for who I am.
Right.
I'm not going to be sorry for the way I was made, you know, okay? Like, that's a slap in God's face. Like, I'm sorry for being this way. No, I take that back. I'm not going to apologize. But people see that I'm young, they see that I'm black, and then also you have to deal with being a female, and then you're trying to advocate for yourself, and it's like, okay, one, you're young, so you haven't lived life, you don't know what you're talking about. Two, you're a woman, why are you speaking? You shouldn't be talking about that. Three, you have something that no one wants to recognize, why are you speaking out of turn? And so with me being a patient and trying to get on the other side and be a healthcare provider and educate not only the people that have sickle cell, the people that don't, and the people that control the treatment and diagnosis and screening and everything that goes into the treatment of sickle cell, it's really a double-edged sword. But I just pray that, you know, somehow my words or something that I'm doing can reach the right people, because you never know who you're going to come in contact with. So yeah, every day I fight with being a young black female that has sickle cell. 4 strikes against me, okay? So, but it's something in me that won't allow me to stop. I can't.
Right. You gotta keep going.
And I won't, you know. I
going.
can't.
Keep
So, when I'm in my right mind. I say other few words when I'm not, but yeah, I can't, I won't, and yeah, that's it. I can't.
Okay, let's give our panelists a big round of applause. They did wonderful, 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 wonderful. You guys are awesome. And if you have